Hey everybody, welcome back to Mac Kiteboarding Wing Wednesdays. I'm Tucker, and today I'm going to bring you a review on one of the most hotly anticipated wings this year. This is the 2023 Duotone Unit. This is the version 3. So they've really done a lot of refining over the past couple of years, and there's some real notable changes this year. Not getting away too much from the unit DNA, but we'll discuss that in our video, the good, the bad, the ugly. And then also hang around for our video series on the unit. We're going to also have a video comparing the Unit 2 and the Unit 3 and what you can expect out of the V3 and which one you might want to choose. We'll also be doing a comparison video of the Unit V3 and the Slick SLS. So those are Duotone's 2 new wings for 2023, and help you guys pick which one of those might be right for you. So if that sounds awesome, stick with us. Be sure to click on our other unit videos that'll be dropping shortly after, and we'll get you all taken care of. All right, so as I said, we have the 2023 Unit V3. This is the standard quote-unquote construction, not the D-Lab with a Lula. Not to say that this is a lesser wing, it's actually really phenomenal. And I think this is going to be the choice for most riders out there between the two of those. So what we've got here is a few changes moving forward for this year. We've got some slit windows rather than the big window. We've got upgraded canopy material. We have a little bit more dihedral in the wings, and fewer battens in the trailing edge. Those are kind of the basics. If you want more in-depth review of the differences between the V2, V3 to help you choose those, that'll be in our next video, so look out for that one next. With any Duotone wing, you're going to not have a leash, so I'm using a leash obviously, but this won't come included. The harness line is not going to come included. The big important thing to remember as well when buying this wing, if you don't already own Duotone products, does not come with a pump adapter. You need to buy a pump adapter if you don't already own one, or a Duotone pump. Otherwise, you won't be able to pump up your wing. So going from the top down, we have our leading edge handle here, surf handle. It is a little stiffer for this year. It is still, pretty thin and a little bit floppy maybe to always have complete control in crazy conditions, but it does the trick. It's lightweight. It's got a nice neoprene pad underneath. We have our leash connection here. As I mentioned, this is not included, so you'll want to add a leash if you don't already have one that you want to use. The nice part about that is, as you can tell, I'm using a Kyohi leash, not a Duotone leash here. This is one of my favorite leaches. I didn't need to pay extra to buy that Duotone leash that I wouldn't have used anyway. So this allows you to pick which leash you like best. Maybe that's a wrist leash, waist leash. Maybe you have a specific brand or type that you really like. That way you can use that money towards that and not be forced to buy it with the wing. Moving down, we have our Duotone hard handle system here. These are solid handles. They're removable via a Phillips number 3 screw head. Just like last year, really no changes here. Very comfortable, very grippy, easy to ride, lots of control, very direct input into the wing. So no changes there, really none needed from my perspective. There are not harness line attachment points, formal harness line attachment points. So if you're using a rope like I am, you're going to connect just to the stanchions here. There is a hole right here in the stanchion that you can loop through like I did on this one. But I like to have my front one free to move around just to help adjust for the wind range and help balance that wing out. I did find on the 4.5 here that right here on the inside stanchion was a nice spot for it, balanced out really nicely from those 2 points. So it's pretty, set it and forget it for the most part with this wing. Just like last year, we do have a bent strut here. That's going to help support the canopy, make it a little bit more ergonomic to hold. It's kind of out here rather than just straight. Which is a little bit more comfortable. It's really nice. Does help support that canopy shape. Just like all other Duotone wings in the past couple of years, we have the airport valve. As I mentioned, you're going to need that special Duotone adapter for your pump. We've got a dump valve here on the strut to easily evacuate that and pack up. And we also have one out here on the wingtip to dump all the air from the leading edge. As a cold weather guy, I was just out riding this the other day in like 10 wind chill. These dump valves can get a little hard and difficult to use in those cold temperatures. So what I do is just quick plug them up at home while the wing is still warm. And then sometimes after a session, it's a little hard to get out, but you can evacuate the air out of the airport valve just by twisting that open. It just takes a little bit longer. So if you can't get these off, don't force them. You could end up damaging the pull tab here on the deflate valve. But again, that's not going to be an issue for most people that aren't out there riding in freezing temperatures. It's just kind of one of those things that goes with the territory. So something to note on that. The new canopy material is a little bit heavier than the previous year, but it is more durable. It is a stiffer canopy material. So I would say you're going to get a little upgrade in terms of stiffness and rigidity through the canopy this year. It does feel more direct and punchy when you're pumping or if you hit a gust. So both good and bad. It's nice to have that real punchy, solid connection when you're pumping or on the light end, but on the high end it is a little bit more physical and demanding in those gusts and those really inconsistent situations. So this wing, is one that I like to ride light to moderately powered. You're riding it overpowered, it tends to get a little bit nervous and a little bit harsh. Some people are going to like that. People out there doing big boosts or, people that just have the physicality to manhandle a wing like that. But it does get a little demanding, when you're riding overpowered. So that's something to know, that with a wing like this, generally you're going to size it down maybe a ½ meter as compared to comparable wings. The unit is a very grunty, powerful wing. It's got a lot of lift. So that just, it goes with the territory with that. That lift is also going to help you get up on foil easily. It's going to help you, accelerate real quickly out of the gate. It's not going to have quite as much top end speed as some of the more forward pulling fast wings. But for most people, plenty of speed on tap with the unit. It's a ton of fun, very surfy and fun in the waves. If there's a downside to the extra dihedral, it's giving you good tip clearance when you're pumping, so the wing feels smaller than it really is. It does make it a little bit more twitchy side to side. It does make it want to roll over a little easier on the water, which is kind of the downside of that extra dihedral. But hanging onto it from the leading edge totally tames that. It's just if you're leashed out, that wing's going to want to roll over. If you're riding it real overpowered and nasty conditions, you're going to notice it's a little more janky than years previous. So overall, unit, awesome wing, especially for beginner intermediate riders that want a real easy to ride, pull and go wing that feels lightweight, it's easy to pump. This thing is absolutely easy to ride. It's a pleasure to ride within its wind range. And riders that want something a bit more punchy and an aggressive feeling on the high end, this could definitely be that for you. It's got a lot of loft, which is going to send you sky high in those big jumps and help set you down a little softer, kind of like parachuting down. So it's awesome for those big jumps as well, as long as you have the physicality to handle that rough ride when it's overpowered. In terms of the way it luffs as it's surfing, it's very light. It wants to flag out nicely in most conditions. It does sometimes want to roll a little bit on you in shifty conditions, and part of that's the handle here being a little soft, and part of it's the dihedral in the wing, but it's something you can adjust for. And one thing that I found really helped me in the surf with this wing in those kind of mixed, nasty conditions is to hold it from the leading edge stanchion of the front handle here. So this part here, like pistol grip style, and that just gives you a little bit more ability to direct the wing and tell it where to go rather than it kind of doing its thing and you're going along for the ride. So a lot of times I ended up holding from that leading edge handle, and that really, gave you a little bit more leverage over the wing and a stiff connection to have that direct feedback and control of the wing. So overall, awesome new wing. If you're a unit lover from the past, you're going to love this one as well. It's got a few changes that are going to make it a little bit more durable in terms of longevity for the lifetime of the wing. It might not bag out as quickly with the slit windows and the upgraded canopy. But overall, if you love the V2, you're going to love the V3. In terms of riding styles, I'd say it best suits moderately powered surf type riding, free riding for sure, And some jumpers as well are really going to appreciate this wing. I know a lot of Duotone's team are choosing this wing for freestyle, so definitely a good indicator for those people out there looking to boost jumps and do cool tricks and stuff like that. So if you have any questions at all about this wing, put them in the comments section below. You can pick up the phone, call us at the shop, jump on our website live chat, or send an email, send a letter, whatever, and we'll be sure to get back to you, answer any questions you might have. Stay tuned for our next videos going a little bit more in depth, comparing the Unit V3 to the V2 and then also to the Slick SLS, and get out there and have some fun enjoying this new wing. If you'd like to purchase one, go ahead and click the eye icon, jump into MACkiteboarding.com. You're going to find a blog on this wing, as well as our product page with more info, pricing, and we'll get these in your hands so you can get out there and have a lot of fun with them. This has been Tucker with MACkiteboarding.com, and we'll see you next time.